Hey, this is TJ with Solutions by TJ. And listen, I am doing my best to give us every single thing that we need in order to be successful in this business. And one of the major things that I know is that you have to start networking. You have to get your name out and become the go-to notary in your business, because your network is your net worth. The more people you know, the more people that can refer general notary services, as well as loan signing services. I mean, your income is endless. Like, you want to be to a point where you have to say, no, I'm not available, I have too much business, right? And then when you get to that point where you have to start turning people away because you can't handle it, then you start hiring people. So that's my whole goal. That's where I want to get us to. And I made a commitment to you guys to get you guys to that level, and I'm gonna stick to it. So today I have Miss Toni Harris Taylor with us. She is amazing. I met Toni and she is just such a dynamic person, a dynamic personality. And Miss Toni, tell them a little bit more about you real quick, and also tell them what's the value of networking. Like, put a monetary value on it. What has it done for you?
Ah, hey everybody. Thank you for having me, TJ. I am so honored that you chose me to have this conversation, my favorite conversation with entrepreneurs. And so thank you for your time. You're amazing. You have formed an amazing following, and I'm just in awe of what you do as well. So I love it when strong women can come together, not see competition, see collaboration. And I'll never forget, you called me at the snowpocalypse. You found me online. It was the snowpocalypse here in Houston in 2021, where everything was frozen. And I'm like, somebody's calling me for business now? And I knew then you were drastic. So my businesses are Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching. This is my coaching business where I coach service-based entrepreneurs like your followers how to get known, get connected so they can get paid to make six figures and beyond. And I teach networking, I teach how to use speaking, I teach how to build relationships in social media, not just posting and hoping they will come, but how to turn those contacts into contracts. In 2019, I was actually I was 53 at that time, and I was trying to figure out how to retire. And I knew Drastic Results was my brand, and I couldn't sell that in the future. So I started looking for a job. Now I'm a six-figure coach. I'm making more than six figures in my business. But now you put everything back into the business. And I'm like, if I want a serious retirement plan, I either have to build a business I can sell, or I have to get a job for a retirement plan. So I started looking for a job. Anybody ever been at that crossroads where you're like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Oh my gosh, that is a horrible place. Yes. And it's frustrating, and it's like you should know. And so while I'm looking for a job, I start talking to a coach. And she said to me, Toni, what's your why? And I told her, I said, my why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource, I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. She said, that's perfect. Are you doing that? Yes. Are you getting paid to do it? Now, that's a whole nother question, right? We do a
Yeah.
lot of stuff for free. I said, well, when I coach, when I speak, yes, I get paid to do it. She said, what about the connecting people? What would you need to do to connect people and get paid? Say, I need to I need am I unmuted? Okay. I said I need to start my own networking group. She said to me, why don't you? I said, oh no, absolutely not. I said, I don't know what to charge. I've seen too many people run networking groups, not make any money. I said, I don't have a technology. I don't know how to run a meeting. She said, Toni, don't worry about the how. It will show up. I said, okay. Hung up the phone. I'm not starting no networking group. Well, I met a woman 3 months earlier. He followed up with me. Watch this. 3 months later, 1 week after the conversation with the coach was signed. Toni, I still think you should be a network and action franchise owner. I forgot about her. So the moral of that story is it's never too late to follow up. I said, how much is that franchise again? She told me 40,000. I was like, girl, I ain't got no $40,000. She's like, don't worry about it. Just meet him. I met the founder, instant connection, brother from another mother, and I purchased a franchise called Network in Action. And so I actually own a networking organization where I bring business owners together to build relationships, to bring each other referrals, to help each other to grow. And I get to live my purpose every day. And if you can see behind me, it says Network in Action Northeast Houston. I just haven't changed the sign because we are now Network in Action Global Partners. I have 7 leaders around the country, 2 in Canada, that are running groups under my franchise, just when I thought I needed to go get a job.
Wow. Wow. That is beautiful.
So I love what I do. And you asked about money and networking. Everything I have in life and business started with networking. Either an event, a networking group, or organization, or just talking to somebody at a gathering. In fact, at the end, I'll tell you the story of how my husband was a referral from everything that I do. So he was the best referral from that came out of networking.
Wow. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. See, okay, so I need to network to get my husband. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Right? So networking is an exchange of information between people, like-minded people who are there for the same purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem with networking is people think it's instant gratification. We are in a microwave society where most people believe that if I plant a seed, it'll be a tree tomorrow.
Mm.
Can I say that again? Most people believe that if I plant a seed today, it'll be a tree bearing fruit tomorrow. How unreasonable is that? So networking is the process of seed planting. You are planting seeds, letting people know who you are and what you do, so that when someone crosses their path, they remember you. But there's a lot more to it than just showing up to events. Look, I got a ton of business cards right here, collecting a bunch of cards, and nobody calls anybody. What is the purpose of showing up? So I teach my clients how not to do this, right? Now I have a bunch of business cards, but I will tell you that I've followed up with every one of them, and I've booked appointments with many of them, and I have booked appointments when I met them, which is my secret sauce to networking.
Wow. I think so. In most networking events, Toni, I remember when I first started going, I was so afraid, like it was like people knew each other. So people who already knew each other would get into these clumps, and I'm coming in by myself, green with business cards, and just not knowing how to break that ice and get into the conversation. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is you have to show up like you are somebody and walk in that room with confidence. So how do you look when you go? And you dress amazing. So I know you're always showing up and looking like where people will look at you and say, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
But we're in an overly casual society now. And I've seen people walk into the room looking a hot mess and nobody wants to know who you are. So you got to walk in the room like people want to know who is that. Now, people are creatures of habit and we will clump together with the people we know because it's our comfort zone,
Yeah.
right? And so when you walk into a room and you see that happening, you have to have the drastic courage to find what looks like an open group. So an open group is someone they're standing side by side versus like this. They're more like this. And that's an open group.
So like a curve
Like
versus
a
a circle.
curve versus
Yeah.
versus face to face.
Ah,
So
gotcha.
face to face, people talking face to face like this, it's a closed group. But if it's like a semicircle, and that's an open group.
Okay.
And you just go into the group and you introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Toni. It's my first time here. Tell me about this group. And the floodgates will begin to open. Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you look for the open group. And then here's the other thing to take that away from Latanya. When you network, you want to find the person in your network who's the networker, right?
Oh, yes.
And so you see them posting on social media, they're going to various events, they're talking about the groups they're a part of. And you could send them a private message and say, "Hey, I see you're networking. I want to get my networking up. Can I go with?" So the first thing to do to eliminate that isolation feeling is to go with someone you already know. And then they're going to open up the world to you and introduce you to everybody. And so that's a couple of tips of when you show up with somebody is show up with someone you know or look for the open group
That's perfect. That's perfect.
and look the part. Look like somebody that people would want to know.
That's perfect. You know, my sister, so I've gotten back out because I was in the house for so long and just didn't want to go anywhere. I ain't even had clothes to go anywhere. So I was just been, most of my clothes and most of my activities have been business related. So
Yeah.
as far as, my life, I didn't have any balance at all. I wasn't going out at all. My sister contacted me, made me go on a shopping spree, picked out my clothes. Basically, she told me what type of clothes to buy. And when she told me about the clothes, she was like, get bright colors.
That's right.
Get bright colors because people notice bright colors and everybody else is in the neutrals. They're in the browns and blacks and, so make yourself stand out and get bright color. Man, that has worked tremendously.
Yes.
Bright
Color
colors.
absolutely works. Bright colors. Now, let's keep it 100. A lot of times we're the only brown face in the room.
Most of the
So
time.
that makes you stand out naturally as well. Use that to your advantage, right? So, yes, wear bright colors, show up, be ready, put your energy on. Now, I know you've got some introvert followers. Let
Yeah.
me say this to my introvert friends. I love y'all. But what I hear a lot is that's just uncomfortable for me. Life is uncomfortable. I look at Miss Beyonce. When you hear her on an interview, she's soft spoken, she's very low key, but sister flips the proverbial switch and she turns it on when it's time.
Yeah.
For my introvert, there's a switch, an internal switch. I tell my clients when you hit the little lock car, That's also your switch to turn on when you're walking into an event, right? Boop, boop. And
Mhm.
then you are turning yourself on and you're in there with intention for a purpose. Now, the other thing about networking events is that everybody's there for the same reason, to meet new people, to establish relationships and dig deeper on the relationships they already have. So there shouldn't be any um, angst about meeting people because that's the purpose of being there for everybody.
Yeah.
Where the angst comes in is if you're trying to sell. Network meetings are not for selling, they are for connecting. I'll tell you when it's time to sell, but at the event is not it.
So you go up to people, you introduce yourself. Well, you go up to people, you introduce yourself, um, you get them talking, and then what?
So
Ask them what is their ideal client, who are they looking to connect with,
yeah. So the question I always tell my clients to ask is, who are you? What do you do? What are you working on? And how can I help?
oh, yeah,
What are you working on? How can I help?
that's good.
Okay. So, what are you working on? Gets people talking about their current project. Here's the other thing about networking, it's not one and done. So, what you're working on today, Latanya, is not going to be the same thing you're working on 3 months from now, let alone 6 months or a year from now. So, when you're asking what they're working on, you're intentional about trying to help them today. So I see the allergies have set in with you, so I'm going to keep talking. So, what are you working on? Prompts them to talk. Oh, well, that sounds very interesting. I might have some connections for you. Can we schedule one to one? The one to one is where you dig deeper on the connection and you open your Rolodex, so to speak. I just dated myself, but you open your network to the person to connect them with people, places, and things to help them in their business. And the more you help others, what Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything you want when you help as many people get what they want. And so when you go into networking with how can I help other people feel obligated to help you. So yeah, it's who are you? What do you do? What are you working on? Who can I introduce you to?
Who are you? What do you do? What are you working on? How? Okay. I love that. I love that. Does anybody, Miss Claudette and Miss Sandra, do y'all have any questions?
I do. I find it interesting that you can say, "How can I help?" to a stranger, so that works. They are receptive of that.
Absolutely. They're coming, they're looking for help.
Okay.
That's the purpose of networking. But when you have a helping, and what I will give people, this is what people say. They say, well, I'm not sure how you can help because
Okay.
I don't know you yet. Ha 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 ha. That's
Mhm.
exactly right. So if you don't mind, let's schedule a one to one. You got your calendar? Everybody has their calendar on their phone. Let's book a one to one so we can get to know each other. And I am very intentional. Thank you, Claudette, by the way, for asking a question because I don't want to, me and TJ, we know each other. I want to get to know you guys. So when you book a one to one, that's where you get to share who you are and what you do. And they're going to ask you at that moment. So it's not like you're not going to be able to say, I'm a notary signing agent and I help title companies and realtors to get their closings done faster and accurate and on time, right? I just gave y'all an elevator pitch in case you didn't hear that. So you get to say who you are, but the real connection happens on the one to one. And the problem is most people don't do the one-to-one. They leave with a purse full of business cards that nothing, they don't call you and you don't call them.
Right,
And it drives me mad. What the heck did you show up for? Now, let me say this to my sisters, because I know your following is a lot of my sisters. I do not get out of bed, pick out the right hair, glue my eyelashes on, pick out cute clothes, drive across town, pay a cover charge for me to live with a purse full of business cards. And these business cards came from a conference in San Diego. I certainly ain't flying across the country without some actions being taken.
Mhm.
So stop wasting time. My saying is show up, be up, follow up to blow up. I'm gonna say that again for the recording. Show up, be up, follow up to blow up.
Okay.
And
And
part of the follow up is getting people on your calendar on the spot.
Wow.
I'm truly one of those people who is an introvert, so I really need to, press in to
And
show.
it's drastic. It's drastic. You have to, but it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time that if you go to these events and nothing happens next, then you've just wasted your time. You might as well not go.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sandra. I see your comments. I appreciate that this is resonating with you all because this is my passion. And let me say this, I was not always a great networker. When I first started networking, I did exactly that. I'd go, I'd pick out my hair, I'd put on my face, I'd show up, I'd have good energy, and I'd leave with a purse full of business cards and nothing would happen. Somebody's got to take the lead. And I invested in a coach in 2005, $6,000 for an 8-week course in 2005. I took money out of my retirement plan. I sure did. And that was the best coach I have ever had. She taught me and gave me the courage to ask for the date. See, nobody gets married on the first sight. Nobody gets married on the exchange of numbers. It's the dating that leads to marriage. And it's the same in the business world. So if you're not dating people, you don't know them, they don't know you. They out of sight, out of mind. They don't forgot about you. And I will tell you, going to events, collecting business cards is the equivalent of homeboy asking you for your number and never called. Wow. Remember back in the day when you give your number to somebody and he didn't call you the first day? Okay, the second day you picking up the phone to see if there's a dial tone. I'm dating myself, but you picking up the phone, see if there's a dial tone. Is this thing working? Why he ain't called me? It's rude to act like you're interested in somebody, take their card and nothing happens. I'm gonna let that sit right there.
Huge.
But people are doing it to us too. They take our card and they don't call us either. And so I am on a mission to stop that. Stop collecting cards, get on people's calendars, have a conversation. And when you date, the first date, it could be a dud, just like in real life when you're dating for a relationship. Sometimes there's duds, but you got to go through the duds to get to the prince.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So Toni, is networking in action, is that sort of like a B&I group? Are they okay.
So I describe them that they're both hamburgers. The toppings are different. So where we're similar is we're category specific. So I have one of each in the chairs. We pass referral, right? And then there's other areas that we are different. But the point for any networking referral group is the members are there intentionally to help you grow. Everybody signs up and says, I'm willing to connect people and help other people grow while I grow. Other networking is just general, catch what you can. So
Mhm.
that's the difference between a network in action and any other, like a chamber. Chambers, some are good and some are okay, but you catch what you can. There's no intentionality for making connections. Network in action is like family.
Oh, I love it. Okay. And so how do we find, I'm in Houston, you're in Houston. How do we find various activities or networking events?
Mhm. Facebook has a ton of events. So you can just go to Facebook and go to events. And people have invited you to events, but you miss them because there's so much happening there. So there's a lot of events and it'll show you events around your city. Go to meetup.com. Meetup.com, you can go and find groups. Now, but let me go back up and say this. One of the biggest mistakes with networking is networking in the wrong places.
Ooh.
So you have to know where your people are. And for your following, the Women's Council of Realtors is a good place to go, right? Find associations that cater to title companies, okay? Find organizations, find realtor. There's a Houston Black Realtors for Houstonians, but there's realtor associations all over the country. And that's where you're going to find your target market. So one of the reasons people think that networking is a waste of time is because they're in the wrong places with the wrong people. So it all starts with, who are you trying to reach? And who are the people? Here's the other thing. Who are the people that serve the people you're trying to reach? So if you are networking for a title company, maybe there are attorneys who have relationships with title companies. And you can network with those attorneys, real estate attorneys. So there's probably, if Google is our friend, go to Google and ask Google, Real Estate Attorney Association, right? So we want to network where our buyer is, where the people who know our buyer is, and then we start dating. Now, if you show up at a Rotary Club, may or may not meet the people there.
Oh, that is so specific. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that. I mean, so many ideas, girl, so many ideas have flooded my head right now. So even potentially hosting an event. I'm in Third Ward and I'm right down the street from a whole bunch of amazing places. So I could just host a freaking mixer.
Yes, actually.
Host a real
Okay.
estate mixer.
Well, I'm about to drop a nugget for real.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
keep it okay. So if you look in my video, you see I have profitable events for drasticresults.com coming up April 29th and 30th. And I'm going to teach you how to create profitable events without using your own money. Events can be small to ginormous. All right. But I'm going to start with something, a nugget right here. And everybody can do this one. A table for 10. Not a mixer, not a happy hour, nothing elaborate, a table for 10. You find a restaurant with a private room and you invite 10 key people, prospects, title company owners, business development people, realtors that are successful. You invite 10 people to this event. You can have the event sponsored, pay for the food by someone else who serves that same target. So you don't even have to pay for the food if you know how to do this. and you'd have maybe a home inspector come in and talk. Anybody else who serves that industry, you'd have them come in. They pay $200 for the opportunity to be at the table for 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And you do that small event, and that deepens the connection. And it really isn't about you selling yourself. You might give a 5-minute overview of who you are and what you do, but you would then have table topics to get people talking. And you'd ask questions like, what do you see for the real estate? The real estate industry's been crazy high. What do you see going forward? Let them talk. And they make connections to each other. You are the center of influence that pull the thing together. And don't think you won't get business from that. So sometimes we think events have to be ginormous, but the more intimate, the better, because quality over quantity. Your allergies are kicking your butts this morning. So, ladies, go to Profitable Events for drastic results and sign up. Clear your calendar, April 29th and 30th. It's a virtual event, and I'm going to teach you the strategies to throw small or big events and not have to pay for them yourself.
I love it. So do you have a link for that?
Profitable events for drasticresults.com. It's in my lower third where my name is. So I can put it in.
Oh, I see it.
Well.
I see it. Okay.
So any questions about the table for 10? My last event was a big event, and I would encourage you all, I'll be doing it again in November. It was phenomenal. It's called Viral Networking for Drastic Results. And I was able to secure over $10,000 in sponsorships, $5,000 in ticket sales, and $130,000 in coaching.
Wow.
Coming from somebody who had fear, big fear around events. That was my 6th one, I think. So, now it's a part of my marketing strategy. Event is a marketing strategy, by the way. But the reason, let me back up. Let's go back. The people who were my sponsors, guess where I met them? Networking. So the reason you're networking is to build your Rolodex of people and engagement and relationships, so that when it's time, you can call on them and they can call on you.
Humongous. Oh, this is too I hope y'all are getting the ideas and you are just being flooded with excitement like I am, because you are dropping money on the table. I mean, this is bigger than just knowledge. It's like, I'm excited. So, of course, with anything that you learn, you have to execute. And I totally understand that introvert thing, even though people think I'm an extrovert, but actually I can sit by myself and be good, to be honest with you. I have to force myself. I've had to force myself to come on YouTube. What made me come on YouTube is when 43 million people were unemployed. I'm from Trinity Gardens, which is the bottom of the bottom. It used to be zombie zone during the crack era. So I understand when people are not eating, they'll take your food. You know what I'm saying? You can't just eat around people who not eating.
Right.
It's survival.
Right.
So I got online and I said, you know what? This is way too many people that are not eating. This is for real about to be chaos. So what can you do? And that's when I started introducing people to the notary signing agent business. And it's just gone from there. But it's a genuine desire to say, listen, hey, y'all, I see this. Go this way. Because people don't know which way to go. So somebody has to step up and say something. And so was it comfortable? Heck no. And walking into these events, I joined Houston First, which is the tourism group for Houston. And every month they have a networking event. You know, you go in there, and I'm having to practice this, right? I'm having to go in there with using the skills that you are teaching me. And I'm going to bring up something to them to have a networking event specifically for the hotel industry too. We're probably, I'm gonna come up with the whole thing
And
for
let
it and
me come in
everything.
there and speak to them so they can, yeah, I would love to speak to them. That'd be good.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's
Oh,
the other thing. So let me drop this nugget. Find something you can speak in front of your target audience about. So, for instance, TJ, you are YouTube expert.
mhm.
So you could go in front of realtors and talk about how to get themselves on YouTube. So you network with realtors saying, I'm a speaker about YouTube and I'm a notary signing agent. And that's how I got on, and that's how I ended up getting on YouTube. So you go in and you start speaking for free in front of educating, but then you also say, I'm a notary signing agent and this is how I've been able to grow my business. Do you want to learn how to grow your business this way? And then they'll hire you to teach them YouTube, and you've got the connection for your notary business. Oh my gosh.
I know. Oh, yes. Oh my God.
This is why people have to hire a coach. I have to say this because I'd be remiss if I didn't. You can't do it on your own.
I agree.
And the reason why you can't do it on your own is because you don't know what you don't know. You can't see what you don't know. And I just saw that for you. And we could build, having a coach, we would build around that strategy. But you can't even think of it because you're so busy with your head down working on what you know.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
let me see, Chad. I saw Sandra made a comment. She's got to learn how to turn the switch because she's an introvert. Yeah, you have to flip the switch. So I would love to connect with you all. You can go to meetwithtonyharristaylor.com. That's my calendar, and schedule a time to meet with me. And let's just have a one-to-one and talk about how to grow your network. And my network is growing globally, and people who come under the thing that my clients love about me is I'm the coach that connects. So I make sure that they get their coaching money back because I'm going to connect them to people, places, and things they didn't even know existed.
Man, I love this. I so freaking love it. Oh, Tony, I just see so much value. And ladies, I definitely listen. Right now, go and schedule your appointment because there is nothing like talking to somebody one-on-one about your particular situation.
Right.
That can coach you about you. You know what I'm saying? That can reach you where you are and take you to the next level. So take advantage of this, take advantage of this opportunity. If you are looking at this later on, hey, the links are here. I'll share the links in the portion of the video where they go, as well as in the chat. But this is amazing, amazing, amazing. And oof, I'm just so excited. And I'm gonna have to start trailing you, Tony, when you go to networking events too. So that
I'm
yeah.
gonna take you with me. And you know, I introduced TJ to somebody this week, and they are planning a big event for you guys, right? And so that collaboration, that's the other thing. You know, I don't worry about competition. It's all about collaboration, and we help each other to grow. And so when I grow, you grow, we all grow together. And the more business owners that have that energy and that spirit, the better everybody else will be. Everybody can win.
Absolutely. There are so many skills that you have to learn as a business owner, right? So I'm an engineer by education. I didn't learn marketing. I didn't learn sales. I didn't learn networking, but these are skills that you need in order to be able to make your own money. I
Yeah.
mean, networking is basically selling yourself, right?
Right. Right.
It's, you know, it's building, it's the cornerstone of building a relationship. You meet somebody, you find out more about them, you follow up with them and sit down and begin to go deeper into that relationship and find out more about them, and they find out more about you, and now they actually know you. Once you sat down with somebody in a meeting, you know them at that point. It's not just
Absolutely.
a passing interaction.
And
Yeah,
you know if you want to continue with them or not.
yeah.
So, and then you have the strategy. Social media is a whole nother piece to this networking we don't have time to get into. But I am going to tell the story about how I met my husband so that y'all can see that what I talk about, literally everything I teach led me to Gary. So, all right. So show up. Remember that? Show up. So I spent 10 days in a coma in 2014 into 2015. Took me 5 months to recover. Towards the end of my recovery, I'm Jehovah's Witness, and we had a party, and we do party. We dance, we party. And my mother wanted to go, and I was like, but she wanted to go, so I said, okay, because had just come out of my illness, and so I showed up, put my wig on, was cute, and I showed up. There was a young man there that was from another congregation. I was surprised to see him there. He's young, in his 20s, and he and a lot of other young men are lining up the wall like they do. And so I went over and started talking to them. Being up, be up. Remember, show up, be up. So I took the initiative to go talk to these young men. And one of them was adorable, and he's probably the oldest out of all of them, in his mid-30s. And he said, you know, we really struck up a conversation. He's a cutie patootie. And he said, I'm looking for a wife. I said, I am too old for you. He said, not you. Who do you know? He was looking for a referral. Now, he didn't know that I'm the queen of connections. So I said, look, I don't know anybody off the top of my head, but my daughter's in your age range. Why don't I plan a game night and you can come and see if you meet anybody? He said, that'd be great. I said, are you on Facebook? He said, yes. So we connected on social media. So immediately I went and checked him out on social media, started commenting, interacting with him. And 3 weeks later, because I'm a woman of action, we had the game night. In fact, 3 marriages came out of that one game night. I'm telling you, I'm a connector of people. So 3 marriages came out of that game night. So 3 marriages came out of that. Yes, Sandra, I followed up. So I executed. He came to the game night. He was not interested in anyone. It turned out that night that we met, later on that evening, he met a young lady, and he was interested in. So he and I went and had our one-to-one. They were in the living room. We went to the dining room and just had a one-to-one. Who are you? What do you like? You know, he asked me, I was a widow at the time. He asked me, was I interested in getting married again? And if so, what I was. So we got to know each other. That was in May 2015. I didn't see him again. He didn't go to my congregation, so I never saw him in person again, except I saw him on social media. And I would comment on and like his stuff. In October, he posted pictures that he got engaged to the young lady he met the night he met me. So I was so excited. And I went to Messenger. The money's in Messenger, y'all. So I said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you found someone. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. And about a month later, Thanksgiving 2015, I get a messenger from him. He says, are you interested in meeting someone? I was like, Does he have school-age children? Because if he does, no. He said, hold on a minute. I mean, this is in Messenger. He said, hold on a minute. So he asked his fiance, does he have school-age children? Well, so what had happened was my Gary is friends with her. And when they posted the picture, Gary called her and said, everybody's finding somebody but GT. He talked about himself in the third person. So she turned around to him and said, do you know somebody? And because he kept seeing me in social media, he said, I might. And he gave me the referral. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow. That is beautiful.
That's how it works in business.
Wow.
You meet someone networking, you have a one-to-one, they get to know you, they don't have a referral for you at that moment. So you connect with them on social media, they continue to see you, you're posting regularly of what you're doing, who you are, they see all aspects of their life, and so they kind of get to know you on social media. And then when it's time for the referral, bing, they remember you because you keep showing up on social media.
That's big.
Do what I tell you, and it'll change the game for your life and your.
I love it. Miss Sandra, Miss Claudette, do y'all have any questions? I see the chat. Wow. Yeah.
I don't have any right now. She really covered everything. It's
I
all been very
know.
interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm over here taking notes, and I'm gonna have to go back through my notes and
Yeah, I'm taking notes too.
girl, this is amazing. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Awesome.
What if I'd been in my feelings and didn't show up, first of all, the night of that party?
True.
Because I wasn't feeling like it. I really wasn't. But my mom wanted to go, and it's like, I got to push myself in these drafts, practice what I preach. So I showed up. What if I didn't take the initiative to go talk to that wall of young men?
Mm.
What if I didn't take the initiative to schedule that game night? What if I had told that young man, I don't know anybody, so that's it. I just don't know nobody.
Wow.
And I scheduled the game night, and we had what if we didn't have our one-to-one? What if I hadn't connected with him on social media and he never would have seen me again? See, that's what happens when you collect business cards. You never see the person again unless you intentionally make it happen.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I intentionally made it happen. And yes, 3 marriages came out of that game night, and there was only 20 people there. My daughter's best friend, my daughter got married to her. We both got married in the same year, and then Gary was a referral to me.
Wow. That is okay. Yeah, you right, Claudette. We have to be up for the challenge. We have to accept the challenge because I mean, even when my sister comes on the weekends and say, "Hey, look, we're going out," I'm still like, "Oh," but I get my butt up.
Yeah.
I get up. I figure it
Show
out.
up.
I try to pull it together, and I go.
Show up.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Toni, this has been amazing, amazing, amazing. Ladies, I'm gonna ask you one more time if y'all have questions. I feel like she has covered so much myself. I'm full. I'm full, man. I'm full, and I'm excited. So much has gone through my brain, and that's all it takes. It's just a spark of something to say, oh girl, you do this, because you just gave so much value and so many ideas. So yeah, this is
So
good.
register for my event, Profitable Events for Drastic Results. There's intentional networking at every one of my events. So you will meet new people. I demand that my audience get one-to-ones. I even have a contest of the person who gets the most one-to-ones win prizes. I mean, I am intentional about everything that I do. Come on into my space. So thank you, Sandra. It sounds so simple. I know the following up is work, but it's worth it. Sandra, if you put one-to-ones on your calendar, the moment you meet them, you don't have to follow up.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I am going to register for your event. I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
This is amazing.
And
So again,
come as a VIP. Let me tell you why you always want to register as a VIP. And I didn't believe in this in the past. And then I heard a speaker say it, and I was like, that makes so much sense. You want to register as a VIP because you want to be in the room where people play at a certain level.
oh, yeah. Okay.
So, okay. Well, listen, I have to go too. I'm excited. I'll see
Yay,
y'all at
I'm
the possible
excited too.
event. And
This is amazing.
Claudette and Sandra, get on my calendar. It don't cost you nothing to spend 30 minutes to talk to me. And let me give you some ideas of how to grow your business and help you make connections as well.
Well, thank you again, Toni. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Claudette. This has been amazing. Thank you all for contributing to this conversation. And y'all go out and have a great Saturday. It's beautiful in Houston today. So hopefully it's beautiful where y'all are. And man, I love y'all to life. And I am, our next speaker is going to talk about sales. So it'll be in line with this. And we're just going to keep on building on this topic for the rest of March. And yeah, there's money in this thing. So thank you, Toni, man. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. Absolutely. So y'all have a good day and God bless y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.